All right, here we go, ready to get underway with lights on here with Superlight 125 GP 250 mono. So lights out underway. Chris Huddleston gets a great jump, so does the Kramer off the inside. So we'll have a look at this one. A full-on drag race between Chris Huddleston and Jacob Stroud, but Jacob is going to lead them around turn one there. So Jacob Stroud right there in second place. Richard Mark and Barrett is in there as well. No Dennis Charlotte starting this one, so unsure of that drama there, but here we go with the Superlight title all but decided. So Jacob Stroud, our Superlight champion, he's out there in front at the moment on the Kramer with Chris Huddleston there in second place and Richard Mark and Barrett there in third. We've got a Biggles Racing 1-2 again in the awesome 250 125 GP class as well, with looks to be Neil Chappell in there as well. That's the Superlight B entry of Neil as well. So all action aplenty out there, and can't wait to get this one. This is the 10-lapper in the final race of NZSBK 2019.
Well, as it's turned out, Brad, I think today from memory it's only been the Superlights, the sidecars that have needed on last race today. These other classes have all been decided, and we're going to come down to a bit of a nail biter here, but for the minor money. But those first placings have been pretty much in concrete, but certainly some excitement with those other classes today. Look at this, the cloud cover. I'll tell you what, that temperature down there, that is falling faster at the moment than we've seen in a little while. Yesterday it got a little bit cold here, but I'll tell you what, for the fact that today it started so nice, we know that this temperature has dropped right off. There's a bit of a wind chill factor as well, and as we've said before, very lucky I think to be really wrapping up our championship, because we've enjoyed it. It's only watching World Superbikes from Aragon for the qualifying session that we watched last night that it gives you an idea that hey, we're not too bad, because certainly over in Europe they haven't even warmed up yet, and it's early spring over there, so we're still very lucky. I think they were only at 15 degrees up there in beautiful Aragon yesterday, so it's certainly still pretty cold over there in the hemisphere as well. It's been fantastic. Of course, the first country racing championship, NZSBK, and what a standout event it has proved to be, and to Lisa and all the work that she's done. She has just lifted the bar so much. To have a professional marketing person involved in our spurt is just incredible, and she's only part-time as well, but more important, she's passionate and giving her weekends to be part of our sport as well. So Lisa, take a bow. Love the work that you've done, the way you've done it, and the bar that you've lifted. For example, folks, the press conferences, somebody had put an idea together. What about we do it? We see it in other forms of sport, and we've seen it around the world as well. So as we've done in New Zealand, and each of our rounds have had a press conference on the Friday, and that's been done at around about 5 o'clock, so the end of a practice session on the day before championship racing, and we've had it for our Superbikes and our 600, and it has been exceptional. We've done all sorts of things with little trick questions. We've had some great comments from our riders, and we've had comments from people out in the worldwide world who've given their feedback as well, and I've been asking questions of which we've passed on. So thanks to Lisa and Ian for the work they've done, those press conferences. Brad have just set another standard of our event, and thank you to you as well for doing this one, your first as well, so a little bit of a taste of it. Isn't it part of the excitement? And I think we've set a standard, we've got to continue doing it now, don't we?
Absolutely. I was just about to touch on it. I'd like to thank the riders for buying into the concept as well. So they've done a brilliant job. They've been well presented, and great to get to meet the riders a little bit better. That's what the fans want to see underneath the helmet, if you like to call it, as we watch the Superlight action. Still 8 laps to go. Richard Mark and Barrett now up into the lead of this one, and with Chris Huddleston in behind him, Jacob Stroud on the Kramer there in third. So this is going to be a great little battle. 3 of them into the S's, and the title's all done for. I think Chris has got enough points to lock in second place as well. Charlotte not riding, so this is going to be just all out there for glory. And Richard Mark and Barrett got his first win of Superlight racing this year, just earlier this afternoon, and out there at the moment flying. So Richard Mark and Barrett, man, if he had got this bike going like this earlier on in the championship, we would have had a great little battle. But nonetheless, Richard Mark and Barrett leading this one, and Chris Huddleston with Jacob Stroud, a great little three-way battle. And then look at the 125 GP 250 mono. We've got a Biggles Racing 1-2. Campbell Grayling ahead of Jason Hearn, so that's going to be a great little battle. They'll be giving no quarter. Again, all the championship points are all decided, so those guys are out there just for some glory and to get a great little Biggles Racing 1-2 going at the moment. Absolutely full credit to Dr. Steve and all the Biggles Racing team, so well done to them. And all our 125 250 mono. I've enjoyed some of the racing there, and just to have the class of the Kalex bike come over, Yanni Shaw's championship winning bike, absolutely brilliant to see that in New Zealand.
Yeah, Brad, yes indeed. And in fact to Glenn Scatchell, because Glenn has been the bike builder for Richard's bike out there, and it's been done meticulously, as we've seen in the times that Glenn has been a racer with us. I tell you what, he was one guy that just bolted clear, put Glenn Scatchell on the entry list for a class, and put your name around the winner of the class in the end. He's proved it many times, but in doing that bike for Richard, it has picked it up, and that is one very nice motorcycle to witness out on the racetrack. So check it out, folks. Richard, Mark and Barrett in the beautiful KTM 690 Duke. Fantastic bike, courtesy of iTools Studio and Oz Performance out there. So well done to Richard as he's picking up. I'll tell you what, as you've well said, Brad, he's also picked up his racing, because you wouldn't have seen Richard fighting it out there before. Never gone a safe bike in a performance bike. He's going for it. After laugh, he said, no way is it a 690. So we get the idea that it's got plenty of power to punch out there. Hey, and being a single in F3 racing, and being a four-stroke, the sky's the limit. You can just keep on making them, because we don't mind how many cc it gets to be, because you can do it. And it's 690. You can just keep on going, because we have no limit at the top of the game, because that's what we love about the single cylinder. He's up against the other bikes out there that are twins or triples, or even, of course, Superlights for years, Brad. We've had four-cylinder bikes until the advent of the likes of the Chris Huddleston machine that has been the former 600 that's been missing one cylinder, so a 4 has been turned into a 3, but that's what's made it eligible at only 450cc for this class. But when we look back to the Kawasaki's, the like of Andy, the Colin Klein Motorcycles man, Andy Bolwell from Oamaru, probably one of my all-round favourites as far as super light, or Formula 3 it was called in those days, all-round nice guy. And there we have a difference of a kind of machinery. So we've had the singles do it, the twins have done it, the triples and the quads, and remembering 2-strokes and 4-strokes. Wobbly's a 2-stroke, though not on the racetrack at the moment. So many different motorcycles that make super light or F3 racing.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. So that three-way fight, the 6 lap to go, heading into turn 1. And there's the one we're looking at, the 250 IM 250s of Campbell Grayling and Jason Hearn. They are into turn 1, but there's nothing between them. So absolutely brilliant racing, as you see Jason sneak up alongside Campbell. So into this as they go, you can see the awesome commentators reading the bright yellow paint job of the BAS Expansion Joint Vehicles Racing team. We've got 3rd place in the 125 is Chris Malcolm, so he'll carry on his awesome string of podiums this weekend if he can bring that Kalex home there, as well as we've got some 2-stroke action as well. Jeremy Huddleston, he's on a 4-stroke NSR 250 in there as well, and then we've got other guys in there like Yanni Shaw. He's got the Biggles Racing 125 2-stroke of Campbell Graylings out there on the loan for this weekend, so he's circulating out there as well. So all over the place, and brilliant stuff. 125s and 250 monos. It's definitely not a dead class. There's still good numbers in there, but we're definitely seeing the 250 4-stroke start slowly taking over the business end of the racing, I think.
And what about when you take the letters, folks, and I'm talking about letters of the alphabet rather than numbers. You've got O, you've got Terran Ocean out there, you've got V, you've got Marek von Birken. Hopefully I've got that right, my apologies, to Mark de Jong out there on the letter D as well. Of course, we've had the letter S as well for Yanni Shaw, and of course we've got the letter H of Jeremy Huddleston as well. So I think that's 5 overall from Australia. Love having them with these. Hey, whether we go back to the Troy Gunthers or other young guns we've had in 125 racing, now most of these, of course, are on the awesome 250 mono bike or Moto 3, as we'll probably one day name this class when we get all of them on board. But at the moment, it's still getting that balance with 125. So great to see. Remembering 2 classes, so 2 different winners, 2 different podiums to do, and the chills and the shivers of the pit lane here for our final race of the day. And I'm sure there won't be anybody that's saying that they haven't had enough of racing today with these kind of conditions. So Superlight, Richard, Mark and Barrett, he's your leader for 125. So it is the awesome Baz machine out there, courtesy of Biggles Racing, and it's Whangarei's Jason Hearn.
Absolutely brilliant. And I'll tell you what, 4:52 in the afternoon with 5 laps to go on this one. We can use every ounce of daylight available with the battle for the lead heating up in the Superlight class. So Richard, Mark and Barrett coming under a bit of pressure.
If we compare it to yesterday.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It's 10 to 6 in the afternoon, folks.
Absolutely. So full credit. We've had a number of red flags today. We've had incidents and accidents all over the track. We've got debris on the track. The marshals done a superb job. Race control, awesome work out there. And we are going to need every ounce of daylight we can have. We've still got 5 laps to go on this one. And this Superlight battle really heating up. So Richard, Mark and Barrett, Chris Huddleston and Jacob Stroud. It looks like Chris Huddleston might have just snuck around the outside in the hairpin. So we'll catch it down the back straight. But it is Chris Huddleston leading Richard, Mark and Barrett, and then Jacob Stroud there in third on the Kramer. So Richard just pulls out alongside Chris and gets it done in the slipstream. So Richard, Mark and Barrett back up into first place with Chris Huddleston second, Jacob Stroud in third. So this one definitely not done for. An absolute doozy coming up here. 4 laps to go. Super light action out there on the track at the moment.
And in fact, it's Chris Huddleston that's now just claimed the fastest time. And let's see, no, nobody will clip that. So in the a lap just before it, so that's why he was getting faster and he improved it. He got it right on his tail and did that at a 1:37.619. So Chris Huddleston, lovely work, Chris. Had the privilege of meeting Chris a few years ago. He was a great racer on the South Island. In fact, still is. I shouldn't say was, still is. But he also made trips to the likes of Burt Munro. Used to catch him in good form. The fantastic Wyndham Street Race, one of the great parts of racing that's no longer part of the Burt Munro. The street race has now moved to the Honda Invercargill street race, but the Wyndham event, and Chris was an exceptional form. He was a great little street racer, and of course we've seen him in Bears racing down there in Canterbury as well, so in all parts of our sport, and all around good guy. And unfortunately, son Luke, he's shown some real promise in racing, but has had some work commitments and unable to be here. He might have otherwise been up there in contention as well, so I'm sure look out for Luke to keep the Huddlestone name up in racing in the future. But the true moto man on that excellent 450 has been in great form, and he's deservedly come up to take the number 1. So it is 1968 and 70 out there at the moment as we check it out with sorry, my apologies, the other way around. Richard, Chris and Jacob in there for the glory.
Yeah, absolutely, and that Biggles Racing 1-2 in the 125 class, still hammer and tongs, those two guys there. They're out of the final hairpin and just starting to head out onto the back straight, so nothing between them. Campbell Grayling and Jason Hearn, so absolutely brilliant stuff racing from them. But Chris Huddleston, he's out in front of this one and slowly sneaking off a little bit of advantage. There's going to be 3 laps to go when he crosses the line. Richard, Mark and Barrett looking down at the bike, so maybe something not quite firing properly on that little Duke 690 as Jacob Stroud goes around the outside of him. So I think we've got bike problems or maybe brake problems for Richard, Mark and Barrett. Something's going wrong there, but he's dropped right off the pace. Chris Huddleston leads him through the S as Jacob Stroud now up in a second. So drama here in the Superlight class with 3 laps to go.
There you go, and unfortunately a Fiston that did not start in the race, and we talked about some of those names of the guys. What about in here, Richard Ford, the Northern Refrigeration Man, or the little Honda RS125. We've got our letter V up there as well, and our H. So 16 riders, in fact, in all 2 classes combined. I think it has been the right way. We're not saying goodbye to 125 because of course we've got the growth of the 250 miles. We love our super lights. It's taken a real politely kick in the guts this year. The other classes ended up, and I think that one needs to be reviewed. I certainly hope there's nothing negative to come out of it. We can tell by the likes of the Suzuki Series and a lot of club events that it's still a very special place for them in our sport. And long may it continue, but for some reason they have not been as well supported through this championship. Maybe it's because they only want it to be when they've got a class of their own. But hey, look, you've got to get the numbers back before you can prove that you have a class of your own before you race on your own. But anyway, there's a little bit to be decided, I'm sure, between now and when we start it all over again in 2020 for more great NZSBK. Well, it's a tear in my eye to be saying towards the end of this one and the final race of what has been a sensational series. We've loved it. All the way from Ruapuna, where Brad and I turned up and went downtown Christchurch, and bingo, here were these new things called a Lime scooter. And we had to go for a bit of a hoot around the street. Of course you do. There's nothing else to do. So it certainly gave us some excitement as a forerunner to that event. Hey, then we went back to Levels the following weekend. Just love it down there. The hospitality of Johnny Hepburn, long-time legend of racing, made a fun and fantastic weekend. Took a big break and went all the way through to March, and then turned up to MotoFest, this amazing event. It's becoming almost a reunion and truly to its name, a festival in motorcycling, and it's only going to get bigger and brighter and better, that event for sure. And into this neat little double-header tucked at the end with the rejuvenation, the return of Manfield after a 5-year absence. It is fantastic to be back down there, and we've proved and seen the contrast and just how good it is with the short corners and the long straights. Some riders and bikes didn't find it as good compared to the likes of the Ruapunas or the Taupos that we've seen here. So a real chalk and cheese with the 5 different tracks that we had, and that's what makes a championship. There's certainly very few other events in the world that are ever decided from a national point of view of just being in one place at one time. But in the case of our road racing and our motocross, here we are trying out whole different tracks and different events out. So great to see. What a special time it's been. And Brad, we're coming to the end of this one. But don't tell these guys out on the racetrack because they're still going for it.
Yeah,
and that white flag, I think, is waiting.
Yep, white flag ready and waiting So it is now Jacob Stroud on the Kramer, the Eurobike Kramer. He is in front of this one. He's just gone ahead of Chris Huddleston, who Chris Huddleston I think might be lightly running out of grip or running out of brake, something like that. So this has been a brilliant 10-lap race, but Jacob Stroud absolutely dominant at the moment on that brilliant Eurobike Kramer with Shoesy and Speedy Leathers, and Team Lizard Racing in there with him as well. So absolutely brilliant stuff from Jacob. He's out there and gone. Chris Huddleston, all he can do is sit back and watch. He's in second place with the white flag out, and then Richard Mark and Barrett still out there in third place. So he's definitely drifted off the pace there after leading most of this race. So have to catch up and see what's happened to Richard's bike. And then we've got this battle, the 125 GP 250 mono, and it is Campbell Grayling ahead of Jason Hearn, but there's nothing in it. They're still side by side. So absolutely brilliant stuff from them. Then we go back to a brilliant third place for Chris Malcolm on the D6 Motorsport Kalex 250. Then we go with a couple of 125s, another lap down in there as well. So
we've got Caleb come up and join us. And Caleb, what goes through your mind when you're looking at your brother Jake out there? What are you thinking? You're Jesse as well out there, the three of you. What's it like to be part of a great family?
Yeah, I got a big family, and yeah, the house is never quiet, and yeah, it's really awesome to see. Yeah, my family's slowly coming towards racing, and me and my dad's had a big part to play in that, and yeah, it's been a great adventure for the three boys. Yeah.
So, what would you like to do next year?
Yeah, maybe a bit more racing, or we'll give it a look, or yeah, I guess we'll wait and see.
What class of you want to continue with what you've been doing with the Jixers, or an opportunity to move up? How do you feel?
Oh yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
See, good on you, mate. Lovely to have you with us. See, so look at that, folks. There he is. When a lot of other families might have packed up or decided to play or do something else, he's coming up here. Why? To watch brother Jacob, who he looks up to so much, to watch what lines he's taken and what's he's taken. So this man showing some improvement. Thank you, Caleb, for your comments. It's nice to see Brad. Checkered flag time.
Yeah, checkered flag time, and absolutely brilliant stuff. Jacob Stroud, he will win ahead of Chris Huddleston, Richard Mark and Barrett, and then have a look at that, the Biggles Racing battle. Jason Hearn.
How close was that, Brad?
Jason Hearn, and it's less than a tenth of a second in it as they cross the line. So absolutely brilliant as we have a look at that. Absolutely brilliant. They shake hands. There's great camaraderie between the teammates, and there it is, 0.1. So there's a tenth of a second. Absolutely nothing in it. Jason Hearn ahead of Campbell Grayling. It's your battle there for the GP 125 GP 250 mono class, and Chris Malcolm, he picks up the third place, so that's your podium there. The two Biggles Racing boys and the D6 Kalex of Chris Malcolm in there, so a great third place for him, carrying on his awesome weekend. Yanni Shaw, what a great fourth place for Yanni Shaw. He's the first of the two strokes home, and on a borrowed bike this weekend, never ridden a 125 GP two-stroke, and coming out there and mixing it with the boys, so absolutely brilliant stuff from him. So there we go with the 125 GP. Daniel Jenkins, another two-stroke out there with Carl Hooper there in fifth place, Aaron Lambourne, and Richard Ford, Mark de Jong, and Marek von Berto there, our 125 GP finishers. So absolutely brilliant, and we'll cross down to Neil, who will have our podium.
Thank you. Well, just on the steps here, I've knocked into Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park Track Manager Tony, and just letting you know that the bar will be open, and we'll have the bar before prize giving. So at about 5:30, so the bar will be open. So, some people are going to cry. That might be, but that's just a guideline of a time. So the bar up here at the VIP suite will be open, so you can come and grab a drink, and that'll just put us in fine fettle as we get excited about prize giving. Yes, indeed, here at the track today, prize giving for our championship. Also, of course, for what we've got with these classes today as well. So it's a double whammy prize giving. It's a prize giving for this fifth and final Carl Cox Motorsport round, and it's the other whammy for the overall championship. So you're going to love to be there. Hope you've all got it ready and booked, because we've got a great prize giving to wrap our day. Don't be in a hurry to get home, folks. Sleep, it's overrated. By the time I get home tonight with a 3-hour drive from here, it will be, I'm sure, midnight or thereabouts. Still enough time to get a little bit of a kip before we would try and go to work tomorrow. All right, here. got the beanie on. We got the beanie on for the prize giving. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh. So just to repeat those notices, because we may be a little louder than those people, that please, can we just have everybody making sure you've returned your transponder and bracket immediately after racing. Thank you. And reminder, we've got to do all of these photos here, all of these photos. So Superbike 600, 300, 250, Gixxers Pro Twin, 125 Super Lights and sidecars to do the championship photos here on the grid, out on the grid. So in their leathers, so those photos, and their bikes with Kirsten, with their Kirsten. So reminder of those photos immediately after this here at the moment. So nice to see. All right, first up for our Super Lights, Richard, you're back again, but we just got the idea that wasn't quite as perfect. Something, a little bit of a hiccup for you?
Came off.
Sorry, mate?
My foot peg came off.
Oh, they're overrated, aren't they? What you could just tuck it up, couldn't you? That's right. Yeah. Was that your little bit of work you did?
Yeah.
You wouldn't say Glenn did that, would you?
Really, no.
No, you wouldn't blame Glenn. I didn't think you would. But hey, matey, nice way to finish all the same. Good series.
Thank you.
Got to be happy.
I'm very chuffed. Yeah, cheers.
Bigger smile. Bigger smile. Yeah, that's better. That's better. I could get it out of him finally in the end. So, Richard, bit to do over the winter series. You normally have some good riding with the Vic Club and others, don't you?
Yeah, I'll probably do the winter series again. Yeah. Maybe. And the tri series.
Well done. And the Tri Series, you'll be back. Well done. Let's hear it. iTools, Richard, Mark and Barrett. Well done. Thank you, Richard. Lost the foot peg, folks. Lost the foot peg. There you go. We knew there was something up. So,
Almost.
Christopher, great series. Welcome. You've done well. You've come north. You've conquered it, mate. What a great run.
Yeah, we've finished every race. Can't complain about anything. Most things went our way. A couple of things we could have improved on through the series, but hey, Jacob rode extremely well down south and dominated up north, really. So yeah, no, we're stoked to be here and we win the round, so we're doubly stoked.
Doubly stoked. And what, 2 NZ?
2 NZ, yeah.
Must be. There we go. Let's hear it. Well done. Here. Chris Huddleston, nice to see. And winning the round as well. So, Jacob, well, it's sort of, in some ways, an anticlimax to be here at the end. That you looked good in the beanie before, but congratulations on putting the sponsor's cap on. That does look a little bit better. But, hey, nice way to finish. What were the conditions like out there? Because it's cold from us standing there. Does it make a difference for you on the track?
Yeah, it was definitely pretty cold out there. It was pretty cool, actually, seeing all the lightning and stuff when we're sort of mid-race. And I saw me and Chris, both our heads were turned away from the track at one stage and looking at the rainfall, but no, it was cool. Yeah, no, the tyres were a lot colder than we thought the first lap, and almost launched myself from turn 3 to 5, but no, we held on to it, just sort of sat there at our own race, you know, just knew we sort of had the pace on them, so when Chris got a bit of a gap, made a move on Richard and caught up to him, and yeah, just an all great race, one of the fastest times we've ever done around here, and really cold conditions, so it would have been cool to see what it could do in some good track conditions, but yeah, just can't thank the team enough. Mick and Rodney, Don, everything they've done for the bike to get it where it is, Kiwi Steve for all his work, gotta love Kiwi Steve. Yeah, no, great job team.
It is a great job. Noticing, of course, 2 different bikes here, but the same engines with that awesome KTM. And there it is, the Yamaha power of Chris in the middle as well. So nice to see. There we go. Great round of applause. Super Lights here. All championship winners on the grid. Yes, indeed, for those grid photos. Kirsten highlighted them at briefing today. So those grid photos, take them now, folks. Bikes and riders in their leathers over at the grid. So just reinforcing that as well. You've still got time before prize giving, folks, because after we've just wet the pallet in the bar, we'll be probably there at prize giving would be around 6 o'clock, give or take. We'll do that one. All right, keen to go here. BAS, Building and Span Expansions. And there's a whole lot of expanding being done. We thought of the BAS team when we saw that Waihau Bridge get floated away from Franz Joseph a week or so ago. And there you have it. The Biggles race team have put in another exceptional effort. And Chris has come up to join him here on the number 27 on this lovely D6M impressive super mono machine. So neat to see. So let's get the boys on the podium. And of course the fast and flying four-strokes out here that we picked up on in conjunction with IMD, and to Dr. Steve and to Marcus, an outstanding job, guys. And let's see them up here. So folks, our 125 podium is 250 mono, first, second and third. So there you go, the domination of this fantastic new motorcycle, which we know is so great around the world, and these guys are doing it right here on the racetrack as well. So well done. Look at this. Here. Well, the numbers are blowing around in the breeze, and so too are our little flutters. But Chris doing it again. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, I got the collection now, first, second and third, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Thank you indeed. So back here with Chris at the moment. Well, Chris, was that a dream or was that your aim? A 1, 2, 3. How's it feel like for you?
Oh, it feels awesome. You know, I know what I had to do. I had to get a third today in the last race to get second in the championship, and that's what I went out to do. Yep. I tried to stay with these guys at the start, but I was getting quite a bit of sliding in the front, so I just backed off and just rode for the position.
So well done. So second overall, that's got to be awesome, doesn't it?
Oh, I feel pretty happy about it.
Yeah. Here. Let's hear it. Well done, Chris. Great effort. Not Christopher. So we're calling him Chris. Well, Campbell from a whole lot of 125 racing, tell us about being up on the Biggles IMD. How's that bike?
It's an awesome bike to ride. It handles so good, and it's just so smooth through all the corners. It's awesome to ride, eh?
Is it sort of like cheating on a 125?
Oh, a little bit. It's got the down low torque, so it powers out of corners a bit better.
Yeah. Oh, great to see. All right, you want to do more of this in the future?
I'd like to do more of this in the future. Hopefully the class keeps going with the Aussies coming over.
You want to see that. Good words, Campbell. Congratulations. That's a nice comment. We want it as well. We want the Aussies over here. Couldn't do it without them. And to Jason, well, I go right back to the first race, Jason, and you had a win, and you've won the last one as well. So it's got to be the two highs of your championship. Well done.
Yeah, it was definitely cold out there, but not too bad. Following Campbell and just gauging where I was gonna push and where I wasn't. But I don't know where Chris was, so yeah. It was pretty hard to work out whether he crashed or what had happened. So, yeah.
No, he's okay.
Thanks to everyone, BAS Expansion Joints, Biggles Racing, Steve, Mum, everyone, absolutely everyone, even everyone in the 125 field is absolutely awesome. You know, it's like a big family. It's really good. So, yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys, and thank you to them. Yeah, let's hear it. They've done extremely well, and great to see. The world of four strokes is definitely with us now. These 250 monos are great, and that racing that time between Jason Campbell was exceptional, and congratulations. Hey, everybody, let's have a big one for a fantastic 2019 New Zealand NZSBK. Let's hear it. What a great road race championship. No matter what the classes, the superbikes, the 600, the sidecars, and all of them have laid it on the line for an outstanding championship. You've all been amazing to be part of. I love being in their road racing family, and let's celebrate with a great prize giving. So folks, let's pack it up and we'll all see you for prize giving. Don't go home, everybody. Don't get away. We've all got a great time to celebrate all of our competitors and all of our winners in a fantastic 2019 NZSBK. To Ian, to Lisa, to Virginia, to Brad, to Spider, thank you all very much. We've thoroughly enjoyed giving you all this live racing, and may I say, bring on 2020, because 2019 has been the best. Let's bring it home. And thanks to our sponsors, we must say, Carl Cox Motorsport, thank you. For DHL, for everybody that's on the list, we've gone through them today, including ICG to Suzuki to Yamaha to Pirelli. Power is nothing without control, but motorcycling in New Zealand, take a bow. It has been superb, and you can put your hand on your heart and say it was great. So God bless everybody. Safe trips if you are getting away early. We'll see you again. Good night.